No Place Like Home, a thriller/suspense story written by A.H. A hand reached into his pocket for the key to his apartment. As he lifted it to unlock the door, he froze as the tip of the key pushed the door open. It was already unlocked. It squeaked as the light bathed the unusual darkened living room. The scent of blood began to overtake his senses completely. All too familiar with this scent, he didn't realize his body was moving until his hands found his gun in the inner pocket of his suit, carefully creeping into the eerie atmosphere of the house. Jude didn't hear the familiar sounds of his children playing in the living room. He didn't hear the noises of a busy kitchen currently in use by his wife. It was her turn to cook this evening. His eyes scanned the wristwatch, briefly noting that it was indeed dinner time. Maneuvering cautiously through the city apartment, the metallic scent grew stronger as well as his wariness. As he entered each room, he flicked the light switches and deemed them safe. However, Jude confirmed his horrors as he checked the nursery. His children's beds were empty, clothes and toys scattered and the rocking chair knocked over. Though there was no blood harboring the carpets at all. Where was it coming from? At the obvious signs of struggle, a wave of utter fear washed over his entire being, and he could only assume the worst had happened. Chills racked his body. Sweat built up on his forehead until it dripped off his chin as he ran out of the room and down the hallways. "Eloise!" he called out in a panic. No answer. "Eloise!" He got closer and closer to his destination. Then, just as he was about to run up the steps, thud! It came from above, the master's bedroom, his and Eloise's bedroom. "Eloise?" he murmured to himself, staring up at the spiral stairs into darkness. His first few steps up the carpet stairs were slow and hesitant. Then as he got to the second fleet, he took them 2 steps at a time. His heart quickened with every shaky drawn breath. He didn't want to think of what was awaiting him upstairs. Reaching the top, he lunged for the doorknob and didn't even need to twist it as it flung open and he lost his balance. Falling onto his knees, he found the room to be surprisingly clean, unlike the other room downstairs. The usual pile of clothing which fell out of the laundry was right where he left it, promising half-heartedly to his wife that he would take care of it when he got home earlier that day. The bed was made, the vanity wasn't cluttered, and the house slippers were set perfectly at the foot of their bed. Eloise liked things neat. What caught his eye was the closet, with the folding doors left slightly open, which was strange because his wife was never one to leave the bedroom in the morning without having the room completely clean. The stench of blood was strongly radiating from those ajar doors, so he shut his eyes tight and choked a sore lump down his throat. Slowly, he built up enough courage to reach a wavering hand out to throw open the doors and find a crow? A bad omen. A sign of death. The crow was indeed dead, with wings bound with a long piece of tape that wrapped around its entire body. A similar binding was done to its beak. The talons were tied tightly to an unused hanger as it swayed upside down. The foul reek came from the blood it was coated in, which alarmed Jude even more. It wasn't its own blood, as there were no deep cuts that could have caused that much substance to seep out from its small body. And the blood was pooling underneath it. Stapled to its stomach was a written note. "Look behind you. Knock, knock."